Okay, guys, so I wanted to just show you real quick how to turn yourself into a superhero. So, the first thing that you need to do is make sure that you go over and you take your picture in front of the green screen. So, here's my picture that I'm going to use, acting like I'm going to be holding a shield and maybe a sword or something. Once I have got my picture, I'm going to come over. I'm going to do a two-finger click on it and hit export so that I can add it into my Photoshop. Once I've done that, I'm going to come up and I'm going to hit File and hit Open. I'm going to go find my picture that I just took and I'm going to open that up. So there's my picture. So the first thing that I want to do is I want to cut myself out of here. So probably the best way to do that is to use the magnetic lasso tool, and which is really the reason why we did our picture in front of the green screen. Um, with it in front of the green screen, it's going to be a pretty common background that's going to be fairly easy for my magnetic lasso tool to pick up and to be able to go around and to really do a nice job of finding the difference between like my arm and my shirt, and as we go around, do like my, oops. So see how there, how I kind of missed my ear. So if you hit delete, delete takes you back a step, and then even if you need to click, it still didn't get my ear, did it? I'm gonna go back a little bit and try to get my ear in there. Actually, there we go. I think I got it that time. There we go. So as I go around, sometimes it gets kind of wonky. So make sure if you need to that you just click to kind of set the place. Clicking kind of, instead of just allowing it to do the magnetic part, clicking kind of forces it to go where you want it to. So until we can kind of get around the tricky parts, then it can, kind of picks up my, oops, missed my elbow. Picks up my shirt pretty well, but it's having trouble with my arm apparently. So I'm going to come back, and there's a little shadow maybe on my arm, so I was having a hard time with that. Come down then and go around. Go to my pants pretty easily. Oops, missed my leg. There we go. Go around my feet and go back on my legs. Oops. Go around my feet. And what I need to do is make sure that I click back on the point where I started. And once I click back on the point where I started, it'll turn it into the dotted lines. And what I want to make sure that I do then is I want to come over and I want to do a two-finger click in that space and hit layer via copy. When I do that, it's going to cut me out of there. Did a pretty good job. A little bit of a, by my ear and by my elbow where we were having trouble. A little bit of a points there, but overall pretty good. So now I want to add myself, maybe I'm guarding the gate or something like that. So I came over here and I did a search for city gate, something that I can be guarding as a superhero. Just remember though, when you do your search, that you click on search tools, you click on your usage rates, and you make sure it's on labeled for reuse with modification so that you actually are able to use and download the picture. And I think I want to use this picture and put myself in front of there. So I'm going to say Gates, and I'm going to come back to my Photoshop, and I'm going to open that up. And then go to File, Open. I'm going to go to my downloads and hit Gates, hit Open. There's my gate. So now, again, I want to come up to Window at the top and hit Arrange, Tile All Vertically. And I'm going to move myself over here onto the gate. There we go. So I'm a little too big. But if I zoom out, I can then, when I have my picture of myself, when I have it selected, I can hit Command T, That's going to allow me to do the free transform, and I can shrink myself down a little bit here. Hit the check mark at the top. Now I think I want to go back and I'm going to consolidate all back to tabs, and I'm going to zoom back into it here, about like that. And I'm going to put my feet down on the ground. Maybe still a little too big, so I'm going to shrink myself down here. That's probably about good. All right, so now here I am. I'm standing guard in front of the gates here. So now that I have that, I need to work on if I need to make myself turn myself into the Hulk and make myself green, or if I am going to have really big eyes or ears or whatever. I'm going to design myself as my superhero, so I can do that. If I obviously I've got my hand and my other hand here is ready to be holding something, so I need to go find a shield and maybe a sword. Make sure again that you are finding ones that are free to use, and you download those. You can cut those out, and then just like we did with making the new creature, you're dragging them over and you're going to add them onto your picture. So you're going to add that onto your picture then as well, so that eventually you're going to turn yourself into that superhero where you've got your design, your look that you want, and with any items or objects that you need in order to create that final look for that superhero, adding it onto the background then as well. Okay? All right, good luck. Do well with it.